everything from home in two pieces of luggage. And I remember just traveling and having a sense of peace, but also anticipation about where I was going and wanting to see Japan. And, it's my first time in Asia. And when I first arrived, there was someone from the company, the teaching company, who was there to meet me. And, the person was there, and I was just looking around. It was the first time that I was in this environment where I don't think I saw any other black person at the time at the airport. And I was just in a sea of everything that looked so different. And it was just taking everything that was new and riding on the bus, looking at all the high buildings in Tokyo that look so different from where I'm from, and traveling to the hotel and everything. So it was just new.
Yeah, okay. All right, it was just new. What about their food? Japanese food when you first came.
There is this term that we use in Jamaica. We say that you're a bellias.
Oh.
So a bellias is like somebody who really loves their belly, like you.
Okay. Okay.
So I love food. I love my belly. Okay, Nana. So I enjoy foods from all over the world.
Okay, so you're not that type. You don't care. You like to try. You like to taste.
Whatever it is, give it to me. I will eat it.
I see. Then I don't think it was very difficult for you living in Japan. Seriously.
Oh, give me everything. And so the food, I embraced the food.
Oh, great.
I wanted to try everything. The curry, the sushi, everything. Yeah, so the food wasn't a shock for me.
Wow, I've been here for like 6 years now, but I've never tasted sushi.
You've never tasted sushi?
Never, because of the mindset that the fish is fresh and everything. So I just don't want to try. I just don't want to try it.
I remember.
But I heard it's so nice.
Yeah, sushi nice, man. And I had that switch as well. So at first, before I came here, the sushi that I had was like a California roll.
Okay.
And then when I came here and somebody was like, do you like sushi? And I'm like, yes, of course. And then it was like a platter of raw fish. So I remember that first day there was the shock. But now if I have a nice piece of salmon with some lemon juice, yeah, man, all right.
Oh, great.
Yes.
She's speaking
This is Jafric Radio.
Jamaican language here right now.
Yes.
That's patois, right?
Patois.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Okay, that's great. Please share, those watching us right now. Kindly share this program for us. It's going to be so much interested because we are diving, we are going more into something nice you would want to hear from our sister here. Okay. I was just, this social media is very big. I was walking around social media and then I found myself on Facebook. And I saw that you've written a book and it was out there.
Yes.
I was like, wow, Sandie, what a beautiful work you've done. I want you to tell us more about it. How did you start? How did it go? How was it? Like, I want you to tell the viewers and I about how it all started with your book.
Okay, so my first book, Journey into the Unknown, finding the courage to move from where you are.
Wow, okay, so before then, you said your first book.
Yes.
It means you have more than one book, right?
So I'm writing a second one now that will be coming out very soon.
Wow, great.
Yeah.
Marvelous.
So the first one, Journey into the Unknown, finding the courage to move from where you are to where God wants you to be. And I have a copy here and you have a copy as well now.
Yeah.
So this book, Journey into the Unknown, I started writing this book in Jamaica.
Oh, okay.
Right? And why I started writing this book, I started writing this book when everything, as we would say, was breaking loose. All hell was breaking loose in my life at that time.
Oh.
So it was a time when I was going through the dilemma regarding work and feeling as if I wanted to leave my job, which was something that was so hard to do. And, I was questioning everything. And so the book came out of that period. And of course, I said to you that I was having dreams as well.
Yeah.
Every night I go to my bed, I dreaming things. I don't know if it's because I'm eating late or if I'm watching bad movies or what. But girl, I was just having a lot of dreams. And I wanted to understand what these dreams meant. Is this one way, like having dreams and visions, is this one way in which God speaks to us? And so I went to a prophetic seminar in Kingston.
Okay.
And the organizers put it on so that we could understand different ways in which God speaks to us. And one of the exercises at that seminar was that we had to pray for each other.
Okay.
So you'd have a partner, and then your partner was supposed to hold your hand and then get a sense of what they sense God was saying to the other person. And Nana, the person I was praying with, said to me, the Lord says that there is a book in you that you need to write. And you need to start writing. And so when I got that word, a prophetic word, and I believed it, but then I said to myself, I said, what book? Like, I'm not thinking about writing a book. There's nothing that I'm thinking to write about. And that was about a couple weeks, about a month before I left for Japan. And one day I was at home, and it's like this, when people say that it's like a little still voice.
Yeah.
Just like a little voice said to me, write about what is happening in your life now. And so I just started writing about what was happening at work, all the emotions that I was going through.
You were just pouring them out.
Just pouring them out on the pages, and also how I was struggling with like people pleasing. Like, okay, if I leave my job, what will my boss think about me? What will my co-workers think about me? What will my friends say?
Your family.
My family say, And it's not like I'm from a rich family, Nana.
Oh.
Where you can just pick up yourself and say, but you know what? I'm just gonna live. Girl, I had bills, you know what I mean? And so, I wrote about all of those things, just poured it out on paper. And the same person who had prayed for me, she said, I will help you with the process. And when I finished, maybe about 30 pages, I sent it back to her, because in my mind, I had written everything that I thought was in me. And she looked at it and she said to me, I needed to add more. So I needed to add the lessons. Okay, these things happened. You left your job, people pleasing, everything. But what did you learn? So if someone else were to read this book, what could they take away from your story?
Sure.
Right? And Nana, at the time, I had nothing, because I thought I was done. And so I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to put it on pause. And then when I get to Japan, I will finish. But then when I got to Japan, everything happened so different from what I expected.
This is Jafric Radio.
When I came to Japan, I went to live in Miyagi. In a little city called Kakoda. It's next to Fukushima. Fukushima?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
This is Jafric Radio.
Fukushima, about 30 minutes from Fukushima. Right? And it's nothing like Tokyo. Very, very small. If I thought I saw small amounts of black people in Tokyo, I saw no black people in Kakoda. And most of the people there, now we're in Tokyo, we will meet people who speak English. And of course, I came to Japan and I barely could know how to say oishi, delicious, right?
Yeah,
and
you nothing.
And so I was just there in Kakuda, and I started going through, after a couple months and the honeymoon period passed, I started going through feelings of isolation. I started feeling down because now the reality has hit that I'm away from my family, and I'm away from my friends and just everything that I knew. And so I started feeling down and just going through all of those emotions. And also, because I had discontinued all the things that I was doing in Jamaica, there was this sense in me that I had failed. Like I had failed in my purpose. Because a lot of times we think that in order, like success, the sign of success is that we have to be busy.
Sure, exactly.
You have to be doing a lot of things.
Doing something, going
right?
up and down.
Going up and down.
Being busy, yeah.
So we don't really understand, and I never understood it at the time, when God takes us through a period of stillness.
Yes.
That everyone is required to go through that period where it's like your life is at a standstill.
Yeah.
But there is power in that. And so I went through that, and I had these feelings like, nothing much is happening for me. And a lot of the expectations that I had put on myself and my travels to Japan and things that I thought that would have happened, they never happened in the first year. And they never happened in the second year.
Whoa.
So then I moved from Kakuda and I moved to Tokyo. And, I was just going through life.
So why did you move to Tokyo?
Good question. So I was living in Kakuda for 9 months. And as I said, the feelings, they got too much. And so I started looking for other opportunities. And someone told me about a job opportunity in Tokyo, and I applied. And so I moved.
Okay.
Right? And so I was working at a public high school in Tokyo, just going to work, coming home every day, working part-time to get some extra money. And all the emotions that I was having, like, Lord, I feel like I failed in my purpose. I started praying. I just start talking pretty much, like telling how I felt. And I remember one day I was walking home, and the same still voice again said to me, Sandie, but you're still there.
Whoa.
You are still there. Like you like, it's like I thought that everything should have happened in the first year or the second year, but it's like I was just like, give it time. You're still there. It doesn't mean that things can't happen. And so in about the second year, after we had gone to service, right, I was stepping out of a train in Tokyo. Same still voice again. I just heard, you should write a book. Write a book. And then as I was stepping out of the train and walking down the stairs, ideas started pouring in of things that I could write about, the chapter outline, just everything started coming to my mind. And then it was, as the day progressed, I remembered that, hey, girl, you had started a manuscript in Jamaica. And so I picked it up and I just started writing. And interestingly, when I was in Jamaica, the person who had said to me that you need to include lessons, the lessons that she was asking me to include that I never had at the time.
This is Jafric Radio.
Was in the 2-year journey that I had in Japan.
Wow.
When I thought nothing was happening. And so I just finished it and I published in August 2020.
Wow. So I think it's been a year you published
the first one.
Yeah, the first book.
Yeah.
So how far with it? Like, how has it gone?
So persons have bought copies all over the world.
Wow.
So you're talking about like the UK, Japan, in Jamaica, in America, in New Zealand, in Canada. And it's such a heartwarming feeling to get like comments from people to say that, I read your story and it really inspired me to pursue purpose, also to listen, to pay attention to the different ways that God is speaking to me. And so that makes me feel as if, it was a good initiative.
Okay. Wow. That's great. That's a great story. Yeah. And then it's Journey into the Unknown. Why this title?
Journey into the Unknown. How did I even think about that?
Journey into the Unknown.
Well, Journey into the Unknown is really what my life. Okay. Because leaving from Jamaica, and Jamaica was my place of familiarity.
Okay. And
going into something that I knew nothing about. And then the subtitle, Finding the Courage to Move from Where You Are. Okay. For me, that was in Jamaica to where God wants you to be. Yeah. So I think for different people, the journey into the unknown is different things.
Yeah.
If you're getting married, you're going into something new.
Yeah.
If you're starting a degree or whatever.
It makes so much sense. So much sense. Even with the subtitle, like it links to everything you want to do, anything new you want to do. Anything new you want to do. Wow. So please, my viewers, if you haven't had your copies yet, you should do. Yes, it's so amazing, like an amazing story which will motivate you, inspire you to like you shouldn't be stuck. You should move on like she did, even though it's not easy. But reading her book and then listening to the stories of others, I think will help you move from where you are to where God wants you to be. Please. And how much is it?
So on Amazon, so the prices are different.
Okay.
I think on Amazon in Japan it's about 2,200 yen.
Okay.
And then Amazon in other territories, for example the US, it's $14.99.
Okay.
US dollars.
I think it's even cheap. Yeah, not expensive.
Don't say cheap.
it's not really expensive. It's affordable. Yeah, let me use that word. It's affordable. Very, very affordable. Very affordable. Because it has great content, and with the price, oh come on. I think you should get a copy.
Yes.
No, you should. Okay, can you tell us something little about your second book?
My second book is The Traveler's Notebook. Stories of a Jamaican's Journey in Japan. And it's a compilation of stories about my different experiences in Japan.
Okay.
So one I spoke about, because this one is just about the transition
Yes.
to the
from
unknown.
Jamaica to the unknown.
Yeah. And so readers are now wondering, okay, so you're in Japan, what has happened?
Yes. Okay.
What have you learned while you're there in the unknown?
Why are you still there?
Why?
Yes.
So this goes into that, talking about things happening when you least expect it.
Yeah.
Just about the different Japanese people and different persons in the expat community as well, who have just assisted me, and everything that I learned through that. And also that period of isolation and separation that I went through, what lessons did I garner from that? And so everything I poured into that book, and I also share some things about Japanese culture.
Oh, great. Wonderful. I can see the cover. It's so beautiful. And then we can't wait for... So when are you launching this book, the second book?
Okay, so I am wrapping up now, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to launch in mid-September.
Okay.
Yeah.
So viewers, please watch out for the Traveler's Notebook.
Connect on
yes.
Instagram for those persons who are on Instagram
Okay.
at Sandie Heron.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sandie Heron on Instagram.
Yeah, I think
And
my
then
Facebook
on
is...
Facebook also, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
my Facebook is full now. I don't think I'm able to accept any more friends.
Really?
Yeah, but
Hey.
it's the same handle all across: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, at
Okay.
Sandie Heron.
Okay. At least they can follow you.
Yeah, should be able to.
Yeah. Wow. I just can't wait for the second book to be launched for us to... Yeah, because I have my copy of this one, and I need the second one to move on, at least to push, to give me a push. Yeah, let me say it that way. Yes, we have to learn from each other.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, we need to learn more. I'm really glad and happy to hear all this. And then I hope my viewers are also enjoying the conversation. So before we move on, I want to read some messages I got here. Thumbs up by Peter, yeah, he gives us thumbs up. And then Naomi Zoto, oh, Auntie Naomi, how are you? It's been a long time. She says, Sandie, your book really impacted my life. God richly bless you. You see that? Oh, great. That's great.
Yes.
Wow, at least you got a life changed.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and then she said again, thank you very much, Mami Ago. Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you too. Ebenezer say is watching from Wakaba. Okay, please, when you come on, kindly share for me. Please share. Kindly share. Okay. All right. Okay, so back to us. I realized you were like... let me say...
You're making me feel nervous now.
You shouldn't be. You should I say celebrity? No. Yeah, because you're everywhere. Like I see you on Facebook, and then having so many interviews. Like, wow, she's going higher. That's my celebrity here.
No.
And I'm like, trust me, I'm so proud of you. Seriously,
you.
I'm so proud of you. So proud of you.
Do you see me blushing like my cheeks are so red? Yes.
I can see that. Yeah, but it's the truth. So how has it been being on so many platforms? You are in Japan, but you're still having interviews in Jamaica.
Yes.
And it's amazing. How did you do that?
Boy, I'll just say all the honor and the glory goes to God.
Oh, yeah.
And I say that unreservedly. God is the one who opens doors, and God is the one who gives us platforms. And
This is Jafric Radio.
just to share our testimonies, like I try not to forget that. I remember like before, like I was thinking about like, wanting to do interviews and stuff like that. And I remember I had reached out even to some persons who were close
This
to
is
me.
Jafric Radio.
Who had connections to like media and stuff like that. and meeting some closed doors with some of those persons who were closest to me. People, people just telling me no and things like that. And I remember just being in my apartment and feeling so disheartened, and like feeling like a root of bitterness, was coming in my heart, because it's like, God, these are people who I would give anything to, and feeling as if you're not getting the help or the support. And I remember there was one day I was at home, and again, the still small voice, which is the voice of the Holy Spirit, said to me, you are relying on everyone else but me. And that was such a shift in my mindset, because I realized that I was looking towards everyone who had a connection to say, okay, to give me, like, as we say in Jamaica, a bus or a link. But I wasn't looking to God. I wasn't saying to him, okay, Lord, the book is coming out. I'd like an interview.
You were looking for human help. Yeah.
I'm not. It's like sometimes we think that we only have to ask God for the things that seem big.
Yeah.
But what about the small things, but what about like your projects?
Yeah.
We don't invite God into that process.
Yeah. Even the small things.
Whatever it is, your day-to-day life. And so, Nana, I remember I repented the day. I said, Lord, I am sorry, forgive me. And I just gave everything back to him. I said, the Lord, the book, I give it back to you.
Wow.
I am asking you for help. And let me tell you tell me about the interviews. There was just a floodgate in my life.
Wow.
I never had to ask. I never
This
had
is
to ask
Jafric
people
Radio.
for interviews in Jamaica. I would just go on Instagram or Facebook, and a producer would just say, hey, the Olympics is coming up. We're looking for a Jamaican in Japan to do coverage. You're the first person we thought about. Another person would say, hey, I'd like you to do an interview. And so many doors have just been opened.
Wow.
And so when I say, like, I sit and I'm like, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, you blow my mind.
Wow.
To you be all the
God's child. Wow.
Listen, man.
Wow.
And so,
I have goosebumps all over. Wow.
Yeah, so all the interviews, everything that you see, everything that has been manifested, it is not in my own strength. It's not because of how I look. It's not because of how talented I am. It's not because, she can write well, she can speak well, she knows people. It's because of God. And so I'm so grateful for
we
that.
are preaching here, yeah?
Yeah, we know what.
Yeah, we are preaching here.
Yeah, man. So, yeah.
Do you hear that? It's God. What are we even living for? Like, you just give everything to him, and he's going to do everything for you.
Yes.
To blow your mind like he blew our sister's mind.
He is able to do exceedingly
abundantly
above all
everything.
We're able to think.
Sometimes we don't think that way. We think that when we have our connections, when we know people, we can move around, we can go anywhere we want to. But without God, I don't think all these things can come into manifestation. Wow.
This is Jafric Radio.
And even before that, I think he had already said that about you, because you had those dreams back in Jamaica. So surely he's going to continue with you until he's done with you. Yes.
And I like the way you put that as well, because even sometimes there's something that is spoken over our lives.
Yeah.
For persons who are listening, wherever you are, if you're in Ghana, Jamaica, for persons who will watch afterwards, there is a word that has been spoken over your life. You're going to be a wife. You're going to have children. You're going to be an author. You're going to be an entrepreneur. The Lord has spoken to you concerning a business. He has spoken to you concerning wealth. But it doesn't happen. It has not happened in the timeline that you want it to happen. And so you get discouraged. You think that there's nothing that's happening for you. And I think, like,
this is Jafric Radio.
As a reminder to let you know that to keep holding on to the promises of God, to keep going through your journey step by step, knowing that at the right time, he will make it happen. He will make it come to pass.
Yeah.
And it's not in our timing, as I had to learn in Japan.
Mostly we give God time. We give God time.
Oh, God, yes.
Yes. I want to get married by next year.
Oh, tell the truth, sister.
Oh, God.
Talk.
I want to get married by next year, please.
Amen.
I want a ring on my finger. Like, we give God time.
Yes.
But his time is always the best. And we don't know.
Yes.
We are always in a rush. Yes.
So
and mostly when we do that before, Yes.
Yes.
I'm really inspired. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Listeners, wherever you are, I'm really inspired.
This is Traffic Radio.
This host though. No, let me just say
Toshke. Period. Okay. All right. Okay. So with writing of these books, I suppose there were some challenges. Can you share with us?
Challenges. What were the challenges with writing the book? Challenges, finding the right people, the right team, and finding the people who believed in my vision as much as how I believed in it, and also persons who would approach it with a spirit of excellence. So I had some disappointments there where that is concerned, but everything, all the challenges, I had to rise above them. And also to say that, I wrote the book in the midst of COVID.
Whoa.
I was at home and wanting photographers and everything like that to happen, and everything was online. So those things could have been some challenges as well, but I had to rise above all of that.
Wow. Wow. That's great. So what motivates you? What keeps you going?
What keeps me going is a deep desire within me to fulfill my purpose.
Great.
The ideas, everything that's in me, everything that has been birthed in my spirit, just having that drive and that commitment to manifest everything that is in me. Like, I want to die empty. I don't want, when I'm at my old age, I'm thinking, when I was in my 30s or my 20s, I thought about writing a book. I never did it. I would prefer to write the book and one person read it. Later, I'm able to say I did it.
Yeah.
Right? So that is my motivation as well. Like, I want to please God where my purpose is concerned, and I want to walk in obedience. So that motivates me. Everything, every prophetic word that has been spoken over my life, it's like a banner that is over my head. Like, even though we all have things that have been spoken, there's a banner over your head.
Exactly.
With just like different things like running across. There's a banner over my head of everything, author, speaker, everything, businesswoman. It's there, and we walk with it every day, and I want to claim all of those things.
Wow.
So that motivates me as well.
Wow, that's great. Okay, so there might be, or there may be people out there who also wants to start something. But like you said, you face some challenges, and I think they may also be going through some challenges, something that is stopping them. What advice can you give to people out there who also wants to write something, who also wants to start something? Can you tell us?
I would say just do it. Like Nike, just do it.
Just do it.
Just like I said before, the desire is to die empty. Everything that God has placed within you, it doesn't matter where you are from, it doesn't matter your family background, if your parents never had money, it doesn't matter if people look down on you. Sometimes you come from certain backgrounds and people think that you won't make it past a certain level. It doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter where you live, what your family members or friends have said about you, right? Whatever it is that's in you, whatever that idea is, pursue it. Many times you have an idea, you want to be an author, a businesswoman, a businessman, you want to do all these things, or you want to go to school, and we like to see everything that we need up front. So if whatever you want to do, it's gonna cost $500,000, you want to see the full $500,000 before you begin. But what if all that you have is 100? Is it enough for you to start? And it is, because I have realized that once you make that step, especially if what you're seeking after is for you, God will provide. He will provide the right people. He will provide the right resources. Your destiny helpers will come. And just like what happened to me, like everything that I write is literally my testimony. And sometimes we do these things and I forget sometimes that it's ministry. It's like you write a book, but you forget that it's ministry. And It's ministry, and
It
all
is.
I'm giving is just my testimony of what God has done in my life, and now able to speak with confidence and such conviction that whatever he has done for me, then undoubtedly he can do for you. And in the same way that he has opened all these doors for me, the reminder for you today, if you're listening now or if you're listening to a late broadcast, is that God will open those doors. And so prophetically, I'm telling you now, go ahead and do it. Don't watch the seasons. Are we good with time? Don't watch the seasons. You know, a lot of persons would say, okay, now it's COVID. Can you start a business now? The naysayers will come, you know.
Yeah.
If you write a book, who's going to read the book?
Yeah.
Will anybody want to hear your voice? If you start a YouTube channel, who's going to subscribe to your YouTube channel?
Exactly.
People have all sorts of things to say. But even in a famine, even in a desert, God can still provide. There is no timing on what he can do and when he can do it.
Yeah.
So my advice is to begin.
Great. To begin, do it. And I think when you want to take that bold step, you should trust in God. Yeah, because there's no way you can take God out of it, because he's the one going to open the doors for you, going to give you connections, going to do so many things for you. So just do it, as you said. Do it. Go for it. Don't let anybody, the naysayers, like, just ignore them. I think your family, your friends are very proud of you now.
Yes.
Those who thought you couldn't do it, those who thought, why you leaving the law firm back, going to a country you know nothing about, I think they're all proud of you now. So yeah, I think so. Ain't your parents proud of you?
Yeah,
they should be. Like one finest Jamaican celebrity in Japan.
And I know celebrity.
Oh, great. I'm so proud of you, and I think so many people out there are very proud of you too.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I think we don't have much time, but I want us to talk about the Olympics.
Yes.
You mentioned that, like you were representing Jamaican here in Japan. How did it go? How was it?
So it was good. A producer, Television Jamaica, TVJ, one of the top television stations in Jamaica, asked me to help with providing coverage. And so that was exciting to represent my country here. And of course, you know, the Jamaican, I don't want to brag.
No. They are your achievements. Come on. You're not bragging.
No,
Come on.
not about me, but the Jamaican team came
This is
to
Jafric
Tokyo
Radio.
and showed up and showed out. You know, we got gold, and especially in the 100 meters.
Yeah, the women, right?
Yeah,
yes.
Elaine and Shelly, and so they did very well, and so it felt so good to be a part of that experience, and it was a full circle moment for me, right? Because remember, I told you in the beginning in Kokoda, when I thought that my life was at a standstill, and I never understood why I was in Japan. And then to get to a place now in my third year where it felt like things were finally coming together, and, you know, having this fantastic opportunity to be a part of the Olympics. And I never imagined that I would have been in the country and in the city where such a big event would be taking place. And not only that the gifts and talents that God had placed within me, some of which I thought was insignificant before, that an opportunity came on such a grand scale and stage for me to use those gifts. So it felt good.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Toshke.
This is Jafric Radio.
Sounds so great. Like as I said, I'm so much proud of you. Like I saw all those things. You were even in Jamaican papers.
Yeah. I appeared in the Jamaica Observer and also on Buzz Caribbean magazine.
How does it feel like to see all those things?
Yeah, it's humbling, you know. It's very humbling, and I said, Lord, I thank you. I thank you for directing me to the right people. Sometimes hearing no pushes you in a different direction, and sometimes a better one. And so it's every time I see something, a door opened up, I'm humbled. It gives me a sense of peace and just confidence that whatever God has started, He will finish.
Exactly.
And whatever, He's able to do, as I said before, exceedingly.
Toshke.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're not stop saying Toshke today. Yeah.
Jaffe Radio.
He's able to do everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me read some messages. I got a message from Turning T. He says, I love this woman. She had made us proud. I think you've made all Africans proud here. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't make me cry.
I can boast. Say, hey, I interviewed one Jamaican celebrity here in Japan.
No.
Hey. Okay, so we got another message from him. He said, wow, she's like Yasantua. You just want me to go deep into Ghanaian history, please. Yeah. She said you are like Yasantua. Yasantua is, should I say, they say forefathers, but this is a woman too, foremothers. She was a fighter. Yes, in some region.
Really?
Yeah, in Ghana. She stood for her people. She fought for her people.
Nice.
She was so strong. So till now, people keep mentioning her name.
Wow.
Back in the person said, "You are just like her."
Wow, I'm gonna check it out as soon as we're finished.
Yeah, Santoa.
Nice, fighter,
Yeah.
protector of the people.
Yeah, exactly. And then we got a message from Lisa Chantel. She says, "Beautiful message with love emojis." Wow.
Oh. We have to see. We have to see. We can cry. I can just give you a t-shirt.
Yeah, you can cry. You can cry. It's okay to cry. Wow, great. Okay, so I was supposed to ask you this, but I think it escaped me. And then I want you to tell us about your family here. Are you married?
No,
with kids?
Here in Japan. No, I'm not married here in Japan.
Okay.
And no babies yet.
No babies yet.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of getting married very soon?
Yes, it's a desire of my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And there is someone already in the picture?
Oh, you want to you want get me in trouble or to send like a load of marriage proposals to my inbox, right? Oh, Miss Sandy, I saw you on Jeffrey Radio.
Yeah, you said you're single, so I want to marry you. Please, I need you.
I want to marry a couple.
Yes, I need you to get enough applications, yes, for you to choose from. Just be content. God, or you be spelling God, G-O-D, to see what it falls on, then you pick it.
Yes, I'm seeking the Lord for everything, the book, the marriage, the baby, the money, everything.
Okay, so there's no one in the picture?
You see, Nana want to be all up in my business, you see. No.
Okay, she's beautiful, and she's single, so yeah. So you understand? Okay, yeah, but I think I want decent, responsible, and rich people only. Yes, decent, responsible, and rich. If you are not rich, don't come close, please.
Oh my goodness.
If you are not responsible, don't come. My producer is saying Toshke. Period. He has signed it. If you are not rich, if you are not responsible, if you are not decent, please stay out. Stay away.
Toshke.
Yes. Toshke.
Because guys, I like eating in nice restaurants.
You see that? You see that?
Yes.
You need to have money. Money.
Guys, not
Yes.
a nice body
Oh,
influence.
but yeah, it was just by the way. Okay. So, during COVID, has it affected you in any way?
It has catered to the introverted side of me. So I like being at home. So maybe when other people
Just
are
like me.
struggling with being at home, I like being at home. I like Netflix, chilling out, having a cup of tea, reading and stuff like that. So it hasn't affected me in that regard. For now, I have been having to manage my fears. And that's fears of losing family members and friends, because I'm hearing now of like so many people passing and people being hospitalized and stuff like that. And so maybe it's starting to affect me in that way, but I just remember to pray.
Okay.
And to check in on those that I can and stuff.
Okay,
So
great.
besides that,
I see.
and not being able to travel.
Yeah.
Because I thought I would be all over the place. I thought I'd be like 30 countries by now. So yeah, COVID has stopped
Okay,
that.
so like when you, ever since you came to Japan, you've not moved to any other country?
Yeah, I visited some countries. So I went to Cambodia.
Okay.
I went to South Korea. I went to Indonesia and Vietnam.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Within how many durations? Like a
Maybe-
year?
No,
Or
within like a couple months.
months.
And I'm happy that I did, because that's the only
Yeah.
opportunity that I had at that time
Wow.
for travel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And how was it like? Was it great?
Lovely. I love new people. I love different
Yeah.
cultures, food. So it was good to see. And when you travel, you realize that the world is so much bigger than you are.
Yeah.
And the world is so much bigger than where you grew up.
Yeah.
And your country, that there are different people who think differently and believe different than you do. And so traveling really has helped to widen my perspective in that regard.
Great. So, my last question, how do you combine writing and then your job?
My job?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you do it?
All right, so I work as an assistant language teacher here
Yeah.
in Tokyo. So I do it like whenever I'm like after school or before school.
Okay.
And then whenever I have my free time, then I write as well. And it helps to do something that you love.
Yeah.
And so I would say to everyone, yeah, we want money and all of those things, but also pursue purpose. Because you want to do something that is able to keep you up at nights. And it doesn't feel like it's something that gives you energy instead of taking your energy away. That whenever you touch it, it's your sweet spot. It's like your anointing starts bubbling up.
Yeah.
You will know what that thing is for you. And so writing is that for me.
Wow.
So whenever I get any free time and whenever the burst of inspiration comes, it's able to flow.
Great. Wow. I've really learned so many things from you, and I think I'm also going to come back there, start.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. You know the meaning of ago, right?
A goal. Yes, you told me it's like
Yeah.
going into someone's house.
Yeah. And then how do you respond? Do you remember?
A may.
Ame. Great. So how do we say ago in patois?
A go. Come in.
Come in.
Come in. So come in is like come inside.
Okay.
It's like an invitation into someone's home.
Okay. Okay. So it's same. Ago. Ame. Come in. Come in.
So a go is like is it like an invitation into someone's home? Like
Yeah.
This is
like
Jafric
host
Radio.
inviting you?
No. That go is like me coming to you.
Oh, okay.
The
So-
guest coming to the host.
Oh, the guest
Yeah.
coming. Oh, okay.
And then the ame is the host receiving the guest.
Oh, okay. So a go in patois would be Mia come.
Mia come. Hey, my producer should put this one there. When I say I'll go, I would say Mia come. Yes, I'm coming.
So
Yes.
Mia come would be I am coming. I'm coming to your house.
Mia come.
Mia come.
Okay, Mia come. Come in.
Come in.
Yeah, come
Yeah.
in. Mia come.
Guys, Jamaicans, forgive me if that it's not right. I'm trying.
Okay, so I just want to hear some lines in Jamaican patois. Can you? Yeah.
All right. So you tell me something and I'll give you the Jamaican
My
equivalent.
producer, please, what do you want her to say? So
Yes.
she
In
can.
Jamaican.
Yes.
Marry me.
Yeah. Okay. So that's,
Okay.
guys, that's easy. Married me.
What?
What do you mean married me? Marry me.
Marry me.
Marry me.
Sing.
Yeah. Like M-E. So you just do M-I. Marry me.
Ah.
Or married to me, no?
Oh, okay.
Try it, no.
Married to me, no?
Yeah.
Married to me, no?
Married to me, no?
Oh, great. Great. Wow. What up? I'm hungry.
Me hungry.
Me hungry. Oh, this sounds so beautiful.
Me
Me hungry.
Me hungry.
Okay, and then I'm going to sleep.
Me I go
This is
sleep.
Jafric
Me I go
Radio.
sleep.
Or me I go on my bed.
Oh, I
Me
love
go
that
on-
one.
Me I go on my bed.
Me I go on my bed. I need a pen and paper. Oh God, I'm getting small.
You It's sweet meal.
Me and go on my bed.
Guys, I love Jeffrey Radio.
Wow.
Good energy in the studio.
Me and go on my bed.
Me and go on my bed. As soon as I go on my bed.
Wow.
I'm tired. I'm tired as soon as I go on my bed.
Okay.
I am tired as soon as I get home. I am going to bed.
I don't know what this person wants, but Clement Isel says, great. I know that, like, the reason he's saying this great, I think it has question mark. And then Tony T also said, nice talk show. And
This is Jeffrey
Isel
Radio.
said, she's beautiful.
Thank you. Is that
And
clear?
he says that, please, is she married? I think we
Yes.
passed that question. Yes. You weren't listening. Next time you should come on time. I already asked that and she answered.
Yes.
Yes.
Watch the replay.
Yes. Go back. Rewind. Go watch. Yes. Okay.
This is Jeffrey Radio.
All right. So your last words.
My last words, I'm an encourager and I believe in the power of encouragement. And so I just want to speak to the spirits of everyone who is listening, to speak to your heart, to say don't be discouraged. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your life. Don't give up on your purpose. God has a plan for you. And there is, what can you do to cause that plan that he has to expire? There's nothing that you have done, no mistake that you can't go before God to say, Lord, that I've messed up. You know, give me a new beginning. To show me, lead me, guide me in the way that I should go. And he won't give those answers to you. A lot of the times we're praying and we think that we pray to a God who doesn't hear and who doesn't answer. But he does. And so if you ask of him, whatever it is, just pay attention, just give it time, and the answers will come. Keep pushing. You're not alone. You are loved. You are not unworthy.
Wow.
You are not unworthy.
Wow. That's great. This is so nice to hear. Very good. Okay. So I don't know why Clement Isel is just
I cannot even see
erratic.
Clement. I can't see Clement's comment.
He says, oh, please, I want to know. I really care about her. Can I get her number?
Uh-oh, Clement.
Okay, so now she has a social media. Instagram, you can follow her on Instagram at Sandie Heron. Please follow her on Instagram and then you can just DM her over there. And then I think you take it from there. And yes, no, she's not married. She's not married. She's not married, yeah. Ebenezer Sayapia was asking Clement that care. Yes, so do you really care about her like you saying? Do you really care? Okay, so before we move, your favorite Japanese word?
My favorite Japanese word is daijobu.
Daijobu. What's the meaning?
Daijobu. Are you alright? Daijobu desu ka? Are you alright? Or daijobu, it's okay. It's alright. Yeah.
Okay.
It makes me feel cared for, and
Wow.
I use it whenever I want to check in on someone, like my students, if they're not okay, you know?
Daijobu.
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 Like the little babies at kindergarten, daijobu.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Clement keeps sending love emojis, but I don't think I care about that.
Thank you, Clement, for the love emojis.
This is Jeffrey Radio.
Okay, so this brings us to the end of our show.
What a wonderful show, man.
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay, so you look into the camera and then you tell the viewers about the show, your experience.
Wonderful show, Jeffrey. Check it out every
Saturdays,
every Saturday.
first and third week of every month.
First and third week of every month. The good energy, wonderful host. I feel more rejuvenated now than when I just came in. So it's a pleasure to sit in this seat with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. Yes.
My pleasure.
Yeah. How do we say that in Patois? Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for come.
Thanks for come.
Yeah.
Thanks for come. So thanks for come.
Guys in Jamaica, forgive me if I get it wrong. Our producer is laughing.
So the Jamaicans will know that you are deceiving us.
The Jamaicans are like, Sandie, you're a fraud. That's not what we say.
Okay, so Naomi Zoto, our time is
This
up,
is
but I want to
Jafric
read a
Radio.
message out. She says, nothing matters more than knowing God's purpose for your life, and nothing can compensate for not knowing them. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Sister Naomi.
So God bless you. So this brings us to the end of our show. My producer, please. What next? Do we have finish? Okay, so I think you
He's
can
smiling.
you can enjoy music after the show. Okay, all right. So we join the curtains now. We say thank you so much, our guests, for coming, for honoring our invitation to our studio. And I think so many people out there have learned so many things from you, especially me. I've been so much inspired. And then please, her books are outside. They're on Amazon. Even if you want some from her personally, you can contact her or DM her on her Instagram or Facebook, Sandie Heron. Please go there right now. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Yes, please remember to subscribe.
Subscribe, guys.
Subscribe,
Like, share,
comment, like,
subscribe.
share everything. Sandie Heron on YouTube.
Yeah, all over. It's at
Yes.
Sandie Heron, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
Please follow her up and then subscribe to her YouTube channel. If you want it, you just DM her and then you're going to get one, and the new one that is about to be unveiled very soon.
Yes.
All right, so we say sayonara. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Download from Google's Play Store or App Store. Install to your phone. Just push play. Music starts.
Enjoy music or programs from Japan, Africa, and the world. You can send your comments to your favorite program from the app. You can also read accurate news on the app whilst enjoying music. Click on Read More for more news from the world. Enjoy Jafric Radio app.
Jafric Radio, your prime vision on airwaves.
You are watching Jafric Radio live. You are watching Jafric Radio live.